Okay, I'm sorry about that. My last video got cut off. Someone called me and cut off my video. So this will be part two. So I was talking about the FDA. I just started on the FDA. So I don't know if you guys know how this works, but one of my friends works for the FDA. He actually is the one that approves or says, no, that drug can't work. So say that I am someone that's doing trials on humans. So I'm doing a human trial, and I have 50 participants, 50 guinea pigs, 50 patients, whatever you want to call them. But they're going to take this drug that I think is going to rock the world. Whatever. Anyways, so I administered the drug to all 50 people. 2 people had amazing results, right? Like cured whatever, or fixed it, the problem, whatever. It was amazing results. But then the other 48 people were deathly ill, like super deathly ill. Maybe some died, maybe some were hospitalized, some had massive side effects, whatever. The FDA says, give us 2 reports proving that this works. So I could have 50 failed attempts, 100 failed attempts, 200 failed attempts. But if I give you 2 patients that I have proven that this drug works, it's passed. Now that's some shit, isn't it? Bet you that's kind of scary, right? I mean, this is why there's a lot of drug recalls on things, because of this. People are like so money hungry. Some people want to make names for themselves, whatever. They'll like, okay, well, I'm not going to tell them that all this bad shit happened, but these are the 2 ones that had amazing results. Everybody's biochemistry is a little different, so that's why it worked really good on 2 and not the other 48. So that's how the FDA works. I mean, according to my friend that actually works for the FDA, this is what he does. He approves drugs or doesn't approve them. So when he told me that, I was floored. I was like, wow, like really? And just like, like all our vitamins, they have contaminants. I don't know if you guys know that, but there's a certain level of contaminants that are allowed by FDA approval. My guidelines, there's only so much contamination you're allowed to. And everything we have is contaminated, from the food we eat, the air we smell, so forth. But anyways, so that's, so back to Big Pharma. Big Pharma's not making as much money as they should, according to them, right? But because most of the drugs are not being passed through the FDA, there is tons of money put into research and development, so R&D. And there's not much money coming back to Big Pharma because they're not being passed through the FDA. That's crazy, because think about if you can only submit 2 people, that's 2 cases showing that this has worked, two instances like, oh, this is 2 cases that worked, whatever, it'll be passed. And if Big Pharma's not doing that, I mean, these drugs are pretty deadly, right? So the vaccine that they're going to create for the coronavirus is literally just going to be pure profit for them. It's pure profit, low liability, and they can't be sued. So vaccine's very safe, and it's a good way to make quick money and help, pay all that debt they put into R&D. So let's go back to our body. Okay, our body is amazing, okay? So I don't know if you guys know the immune system very well, but it is amazing. If you look at a cell, and you look at like bacteria in your body, and you see all your cells just attack it. It's like wow, like they're really fighting for me, you know? I was like, oh, someone's fighting for me, you know? It's cute. But anyways, no, it's amazing. So our body is literally like a bunch of warriors inside, you know? We have like 3.8 trillion viruses in our body alone. They're called viro, I believe. They're called a viro. And then there's like 60 trillion bacteria in our body, but we only have like 6 trillion cells, and that's what we're made of. So we actually have more viruses and bacteria than we actually have cells. So, but we fight off viruses. We fight off bacteria. We fight off every day. We fight something off, you know? When I say we, I mean like all my cells and me. So there's a reason why. So like right now it's showing like 500,000 people in the U.S. has been confirmed. I mean 300,000. It was 500 something thousand. I don't know the exact number because I looked it up this morning, but I already forgot. That are confirmed cases, and it shows that there's like 26,000 that's recovered, and then there's 18,000 that's died. Well, this goes back to my first part one. My first part one was a lot of those patients are being tagged as corona patients when they pass away in the hospital. They don't even test them. They're just doing corona patients. The higher amount of corona patients we have that died, the more it looks like a pandemic. The more it looks deadly. The more fear that we put into our civilians, right? Our citizens worldwide. The more fear we put into everybody, the more everybody's going to be like, yeah, vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. I want to make sure I don't catch it. People that are catching the coronavirus. My friend that's a doctor, he said he has 138 intubated patients right now. And I said, okay, well, have you noticed anything? I mean, are they vegan? Are they meat eaters? Are they bioradioactive activity? Like, what is their lifestyle? And he's like, well, I don't really know because they're all intubated, you know? And I was like, you don't ask these questions when they come in? And he's like, no. He's like, but what I did notice that majority of them, over 90% of them, are overweight. Okay, well, there's a factor. Okay, when you're overweight, your body has to do everything extra. Your heart's got to pump more. Everything is more exhausting for your body when you're overweight. And that can mean muscle or fat. Yeah, if you're a huge bodybuilder, your body is taking a toll. That's more, there's a reason why they have ideal weight, because that's your ideal healthy weight. Anyways, so these people that are getting sick, they have immunocompromised immune system. And what that means is that they have, like one doctor explained it, you have like 3 cylinders, right? Your body always runs off of 3 cylinders, but if you have an immunocompromised immune system, you're running off of 2. Now, when a bacteria comes into like our, sorry, this stuff is like in my way here. When the bacteria comes into our body, and we're only running off of 2 cylinders, what is it called? I'm trying to remember. Cytokines. I think they're called cytokines. They fire so hard, it overreacts. Okay? And so then it not only does it attack the virus, it starts to attack our own tissue. So literally, really the virus is not killing us. We're killing ourselves. How crazy is to think about that? The virus, let me say this again. The virus is not killing you. You're killing yourself. Your own cells have the cytokines, like I said, overreact, and it causes a disruption, and your own defense mechanism attacks you. So, suppose you're firing on all 3 cylinders. The chances of you contracting this coronavirus and dying is slim to none. Okay. So that's why it's so key to take your vitamins, to take immune boosting vitamins, and I had went over that on a video with my part one. If you guys are interested, just so you know, I always try to get liquid form or liquid capsules or powdered. This is very important. I didn't actually express this to you guys. So I'll give you an example. So you can see this is a vegetable capsule. I don't know, if I get too close, it probably gets blurry. But anyways, this is a vegetable capsule. You can see it's powder form. Majority of this is the active ingredient, but there's filler in it, and usually they use flour or wheat rice, you know, kind of like that filler. Anyways, and then you have a pill like this. Pill, okay? Now, you know what the difference between these two are? I mean, besides them being two different vitamins, but let's just say they're the same vitamin. But you know what the difference between a compacted pill and loose? This has an active ingredient in it that has a glue agent. This glue agent is what compresses the pill and holds it together. Because this obviously doesn't have that. If I were to open this capsule, it's all going to pour out in this powdered form. It's not compressed together. Compressing a pill, just because you compress you compress a bunch of chemicals together, doesn't mean it's going to stay compressed. There has to be a glue agent. And there's a glue agent called, oh God, I wonder if I can remember this name. It starts with a G and it's really long. I know I'm smarter than this. Let me see if it's on the bottle actually. They usually never. No, I don't think they have it. They usually don't list it on here. This is the ingredients, but it doesn't. Anyways, it's like a gum. But anyway, so that actually does not digest in your system. So it can digest, but a really slow rate, and sometimes it doesn't digest at all, and you end up pooping this whole vitamin out. And of course, you're not going to dig through your poop to look for your vitamins, right? Because who does that? But if you were, you'd probably see a lot of your compressed vitamins in your poop, unfortunately. So this is all in compressed pills. That glue agent is in all compressed pills. It's been there for years. There was a young kid years ago, oh God, it must have been like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, that died from a company. I'm not going to name the company, but they died from a supplement. You could probably look it up online. The kid died. They found tons of that glue agent in his stomach. He had consumed so much of vitamins every day. They had these packets, these pre-made packets, and they were just all glued vitamins. He ended up passing. He got like really bad stomach ache. By the time he went to the hospital, it was already too late, and he passed away because this glue agent like literally ate his stomach alive. So make sure you don't get the compressed ones. I got these ones because I couldn't find at the time compressed ones. So, I mean, I couldn't find the powdered ones, so I just got these. I normally don't get any compressed vitamins. So try to stay away from compressed vitamins if you can. So, try to get powder form or liquid, or gel. You know, like vitamin E comes in like the gel oil inside. So try to do that. Anyways, so a lot of my what I went over in the last two videos, part 1 and part 2, was backed up by Dr. SHIVA. He is actually he's the first guy. He's the first person that ever invented email. He's actually he patented email. I think that was 1978 or 1988. I think it was 78, but yeah, 78. So he has a patent to email, so he created email, but he's also a doctor's PhD. and I believe he's a doctor in immunity, but I could be wrong what his exact title is, but I know he's a doctor, and he's very informative. So you can look him up, and I'm sure he has, if he doesn't have videos out there, you might be able to find like an interview with him. But that's one of the doctors that I get my information from, and then of course my friends that are doctors. I'm not going to mention my friends' names that are doctors because they don't go on Facebook, they don't express themselves, so I don't know, I don't want to risk their job, because what happens if, this comes back and backlashes them, so I don't. But I will promise you that. Now, this is my own personal opinion. I don't have any medical research to back this up or proof. I think either the virus was created, or they really did find it in a bat, but they extracted it, and I believe it was from the U.S. I believe that the U.S. brought it to Wuhan, China. Everybody loves to blame China because they're always like the mortal enemies, right? Yin and yang. They're always one's the bad guy. And of course, the government always makes us turn our back against other countries. That's what the U.S. does. It does that with Iran, it does that with Saudi Arabia, it does it with everything. Everybody it does it. It does it to France. I mean, why do you think Americans are the most hated? I mean, it's not because we have a better economy. Yeah, we have a great economy. Well, maybe not right this second, but we usually do. But we have a lot of fucking just terrible leaders. And it's so sad. But so much to discuss, and I just kind of like flip-flopping everywhere. I'm like shaking because I'm like so upset thinking about these things. But anyways, totally got off track what I was thinking. I totally forgot what I was saying. But anyways, so I think it was created, or it was from an animal and they extracted it, and then they kind of like released it. That's my own theory, like I said, and the only reason I think that is because of Big Pharma, because they are telling doctors and hospitals, tag them as corona patients. The more corona patients they have, the more there's a pandemic scare. And the more you instill fear into someone, the faster you can act for a solution and the more money you can make quicker. Okay, you guys, wake up. This is all, watch, you heard it here first. There's going to be mandated vaccines for this. You heard it here first. So take it from someone that was in the business. Probably ruin that career for the rest of my life now. But it will be the first career I ruined. But anyway, so because I like to speak my mind and tell it how it is. So America, the government wants us to hate China. They want us to hate all these other people. The more that they have on their back, the more support they have, the stronger they are. And the more that we're brainwashed and the more we support our government with these crazy, like, oh, they're going to bomb us, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Oh, my God. It's not people that hate us. You go to Iran and people are fucking nice there. Nobody knows that. You don't hear any about that. You don't hear anything about that. You go to Iran and people are nice. What doesn't like us in Iran is the government. The government who's who we fight with. We don't fight with the people. We fight with the government. And then those who they brainwash. Just like here. There's good Americans and then there's bad Americans. You have good Americans that are smart and not sheep. Then you have Americans that are stupid and sheep. Okay? SNS. Stupid sheep. So, that's how it is. The government knows how to brainwash us by using the media, social media, TV, radio, newspapers. That's all media. That is all fake news, okay? None of it's real. I mean, they have some things that are obviously, but they always try to take your focus off what's really going on. So they're taking our focus off by creating this big pandemic scare so they can create a cure, create this vaccine, and sell it back to us to make millions of bottles. They're like, Well, why would they kill all these thousands of people? Why would they hurt you in Wuhan? While Wuhan, like China was having protests going on right before the coronavirus broke out. I'm not sure if you know that. So in China, they don't have the First Amendment like we do. You protest in China, you get locked up or killed. That's just how it works over there. And all this protest started happening. Well, why don't we stop the protests? Here's the virus. Deal with it. All of a sudden, they start keeling over. Protests stopped. Coronavirus existed. And then, of course, why didn't the border, as soon as it broke out in Wuhan, how come you didn't think the president shut down the borders? Why do you think he waited until we got infected to shut down the borders? It takes one person to infect 100 people quickly, like in one day. That's how crazy it is. You go to the grocery store. Remember, you infect one person comes to see me, right? In the morning, for example. And then they go to their parents. They see 2 of their parents. That's now 3. And then they go to the grocery store and they walk around and touch everything. Now you infected fucking how many people, whatever. You know, how many people are going to touch that produce or those things and infect themselves? Like, it's that quick. One person, 100 people. Easily. So, it's easy to shut down China that way. And then it's also easy to get us to hate China again. Oh, another virus that came from China. Oh, we gotta hate Chinese now. And you see all this racist shit going on, and you see all these memes going on. And I really don't believe it came from them. I really don't. And maybe it did. Maybe it did, but I don't think it did. I think we created the problem, and now we're going to offer you the solution. We created all this heartache, and I mean, the government's trying to run in here and rescue us with their $1,200 fucking stimulus check. Go fuck yourself with your $1,200 stimulus check. That ain't going to get me shit, okay? My rent's $3,000 a month. Everything, all my other bills is around $10,000 total a month. Where's my $10,000? You shut me down. My job doesn't exist. I can't leave my house. They ain't going to pay for that shit. They don't give a fuck about you. The government never, ever cared about you.